Hello, class, and welcome to our 10th lecture series on microeconomics. And I'm your instructor, Dr. Jamal. I have a very nice quote for you today. So remember, attitude suits you when you have knowledge. I hope this is a very motivational quote, which increase your also learning attitude in today's class. So regarding a quick review, we were discussing markets in competition, and we talked about perfect competition or competition. So we talked about the characteristics of competition as there are many buyers, many sellers in the market. Plus, goods offered by various sellers are identical or largely the same. And the last one is firms can freely enter or exit the market. So we discussed these 2 points. Today we'll talk about the third one because these two are for sure when we divide the horizon, the time horizon, short run and long run. Then in short run, this of course is true, and in long run, this one also true. So we will see that. Okay. First, a little recap. So when there are many firms and many suppliers and many buyers, so each have a negligible impact on the market price, right? So both buyers and suppliers in competition are called price takers. And then we talk about the revenues and costs of the firm. The cost is the same. So what are the two major costs? Number one, every total cost and marginal cost. That's it. These are the two costs which are point of interest for us as a producer because we want to maximize our profit. So what is the formula for profit? Profit is equal to total revenue minus total cost. So cost we have discussed. We want to minimize. Where we need to produce? Where? At efficient scale. So this minimum part of the U-shaped curve is efficient scale. And now how much we have to sell so that our profit is maximized? All right. So this is already decided in our pre-midterm lecture, cost of production. We have decided it. But when we consider price in the market, then we also consider the revenue. So what are the two major curves for revenue? We talked about average revenue. We talked about the marginal revenue, right? Total or change in total revenue divided by change in quantity. And we discussed when it comes to the characteristics of competitive firm, remember price is equal to AR is equal to MR. All right, here we go. Right, and then we talked about, okay, now we want to take advantage of the position where we need to produce by considering the market price as well. So thanks to the economists, they devised us a condition. We don't have to scroll down and find out, okay, where there is greater profit because there are going to be 1,000 values where we need to produce, we don't know. So thanks to economists, they find out there is a condition, yes, where profit is maximum, and that condition is where MC is equal to MR. And then we discussed managerial implications. If marginal revenue greater than marginal cost, what is the managerial decision? You call your factory manager or shift manager or supervisor, factory supervisor, and you explicitly tell them increase the production because increasing the production will increase profit. See, profit is increasing. And when you see that marginal revenue is less than marginal cost, you again call your shift manager or production manager or whatsoever, and you say decrease the production. So by the way, so nowadays this week news is that Amazon, Microsoft, and all the big companies, they are laying off people. Amazon announces 10,000 plus employees for layoff. So it's a huge amount of, because in Corona, a lot of demand and holidays and all those stuff, people demands more. So their employment ratios skyrocketed, and now economy is going to stabilize. Their marginal revenue is less than their marginal cost, so they laying off people. All right. So this is happening in practical sense as well. Right. So just talk about that. If MC increase, if MR greater than MC, increase production. What was the hint? Revenue greater than cost, or greater than cost, increase production. And when or revenue less than the cost, this is hint. Just add M beside. So marginal revenue less than marginal cost, decrease production. If it is equal, remember you are on profit maximized condition. So we talk about that. Where we need to produce to maximize our profit, we need to produce where cost is minimum and the total revenue is highest. So that's why we see both conditions. All right, MC is equal to MR. So where we need to produce, MC is equal to MR. This is MC, and MR is the same as price. So you should produce where on quantity level, this is called Qmax. This you need to produce and sell at this price, you will get maximum profit. So let's explore this further. So let's move further. So we also talked about the demand and supply of the curve. So demand is the price. In price line is horizontally. So that's strange because we talked about that demand is downward sloping. But here demand curve is, why? Because nobody influences the price. All right? Price takers. Whenever we talk about price takers, whatever in the price in the market, if any one customer wants to change that, no, he cannot change that because it has a negligible impact. So that's why price line or demand is equal to horizontal. And supply curve is like this. So what we ended our discussion in last lecture, can we find out this kind of curve where we increase the price, our quantity also increase? Yes, we discussed that. There is a point, there is a curve which is MC. And MC is a curve, upward sloping. You see, increase in price. If we increase, this is the cost in revenue. Increase in revenue, increase in production. So, and then we ended our discussion, which part of MC is the supply curve? That part of MC which is above the average cost. So if I change the color here, green, so from here, upward, and if I just make it that part, which is yellowish part, that is not the supply curve. So if I say MC is 100% equal to supply curve, answer is no. MC is a proxy for supply curve, plus that part of MC resembles this green part. This green part. So that part of MC resembles the supply curve, which is above average total cost. All right. Now let's divide the horizon that we were talking about into short run and long run. So there are two scenarios. The short run scenario is called shutdown. So shutdown means temporarily close down of the business. Temporary close of the business. right? Not the permanent shutdown. So till yet, what we were discussing, let me change color here, this one. So sorry about that. So till yet, we have been analyzing the question how much competitive firm will produce. And now there are certain circumstances the firm will choose to shut down and not to produce anything. Remember, shutdown is short-run strategy, short-run decision making, short-run option for a firm not to produce anything during a specified period of time, right? Because of market conditions. All right. Whereas exit is a long-run discussion, or long-run decision, a long-run strategy, a long-run option for a firm to permanently leave the market. So what happened in shutdown? So remember, shutdown when your total revenue is less than your variable cost. So it means the cost curve, every total cost, and MC. These two costs are of prime importance, but in short run, average variable cost is also a prime considerable cost, right? So when your total revenue, or you can say if you have basic mathematical knowledge, so you can also reduce this inequality as divided by Q divided by Q. So total revenue is equal to price into Q. Q cancel, and price less than total variable cost divided by quantity is average variable cost. So if price is less than average variable cost, if price is here, all right, this is your quantity to produce, and that is your average variable cost. That is your average total cost. All right. If this is the situation, which means by what is the variable cost? It is the production cost, or that cost will increases or decreases with the level of output. All right. So when you increase more, you have a more loss. When you increase production, you have a more loss. All right. So firm shuts down if the revenue it gets from producing is less than the variable cost of production. So remember, if the firm wants to produce, it will produce where MC is equal to MR. And remember, if it is less than the average variable cost, so it's better, firm is better off stopping production altogether. Why? Because we still be, and if they close down this, that doesn't mean that they are not incurring any cost. We still be paying fixed costs like rent, employees of the salaries of the employees, not the wages. Fixed salaries we would be paying. But if the firm is open, they are losing more money by staying open, because when they produce more, because price is even less than the variable cost. What is the shutdown condition? Shutdown is short-run strategy when price is less than average variable cost. It means by producing more, okay, you are incurring in the loss of fixed costs like salaries, like building rent, right? Plant rent, leasing, you are paying that. But if you produce, if you start your plant, if you start production, you will lose more. So it's better to stay shut down for a temporary period of time. So when market revive and market conditions are in your favor, then open your business and start producing. But you don't quit the market. That is the point here. In short run, you don't quit the market. You shut down, you temporarily close down your production facility, but you don't close down permanently. So these are the